Welcome to the Yellow Trumpet. I am Chituga, your host, and today we shall be speaking on political participation. As the name implies, political participation is your involvement, your active involvement, or your involvement in politics. Politics being matters of the state, matters that affect the generality of the people. This being either at the federal level, at the state, the local government, or your community level, even down to the family. You've probably heard the saying that, okay, once there is a third person, it's politics. I would usually say once there is a second person, it's okay, well, once there's a third person, it's politics. Let's leave it at that. Once there's a third person, it's politics. Core or key conversation for political participation is the quality of decision you make. By political participation, yes, it involves your interaction with others, your social interactions, how you shape public opinion by putting out your views. With today's technology, the use of social media, very influential, in particular X, when it comes to Nigerian political conversations. And I have to note that the tendency to go after or to attack mercilessly opponents, they say it's a function of politics because you claim to be better, but when the attack is based on nothing, not even about policies or suggesting policy reforms, then it becomes an issue. Political participation requires of you a clear mind. That, I think, is the basic requirement. That is the basic requirement, a clear mind to make the clearest decision. Democracy, as is practiced in Nigeria, involves voting for our elected representatives, be it legislators or executives. We vote them in, and they in turn take decisions, or ought to take decisions, that influence or affect us. In other words, make our lives better. But it isn't necessarily the case. We have situations where people find their way into office and then become demigods to be worshipped. I'm not here all about the complaining now. The issue is your decision-making process. The fact is, those persons that claim are demigods, they gave signs during the electioneering process. And you may say, oh, our votes don't matter, it doesn't count. It does count. And frankly, if elections were to be rigged, your presence alters the equation. You understand this? In political participation, now I will speak for myself because I have an interest in politics. In political participation, whether you support me or you do not support me, you don't have to hate me. Because the moment hate comes into the equation, your ability to make good decisions comes into question. If you want to make sound decisions, you cannot be perfect all the time because everything does not revolve around you. Other persons are involved. But if you want to make the clearest, the soundest decision, the wisest choice, then I think it is best to start by reviewing your mental content. Again, we come to our theme in the Yellow Trumpet, which is internal. It flows from within. You would not take important decisions in your family when you are angry. You will not take important decisions in your family when you are emotionally disturbed. You will not take personal decisions that influences your life in an upset state. You would not even write an examination in a disturbed state. You would want to be calm. You would want to be relaxed. You would want to be at ease. So tell me, a decision that influences the next 4 years, 5 years of your life, or 3 years, depending on the local situation. Tell me why you would make that decision in anger. So I say to you today, anybody, regardless of whom, that seeks to use anger as a tool for your support will eventually mislead you, because such is the nature of anger. It blinds you to things you ought to have seen. It is my advice that before you cast your vote, now the elections are some time away in 2027. This is still 2024. So before you cast your votes, you take your time to ask yourself, what is important to you? Is it the state of affairs of the nation? Is it the security situation? Is it your economic well-being? What is important to you? And in your economic well-being, what do you want? And then listen for cues. You may not have access directly to the candidates, but listen for cues as to what they will do regarding this situation. And if these situations are not addressed, if they are merely trying to play on your emotions, play with the razzmatazz. Elections are a strange period. It's a time where common sense is lost. We do and act strangely. We want to perform publicly what we would not do privately. Even a football match that requires celebration upon victory, you have to be level-headed to play the match and win it before any rancorous celebration. I cannot overemphasize the point of a calm mind. Do take care and ensure that the decisions you make are well thought out. Have you considered how a particular candidate's position influences your lifestyle? Have you understood what they are saying and what they are actually suggesting that they will do? And how those decisions they claim they will make will influence your lifestyle? Have you observed the candidates to be certain that upon being elected, this man can be held accountable? Money. Elections involve a lot of money, and that is the pool. I cannot say it's a bad thing because it's money that is used in organizing different facets of society to come up with a harmonious whole. Money is but a tool, just like a gun or a knife. How it's used depends on the user. Now I'm saying, and if you go back in history, as far back as 99, I don't want to go too further. I became conscious of political system in 2003. So if you go back as far as 2003, 2007, 2011, if you go that far, you read our papers, you realize that we've been saying the same thing. What we're complaining about now is not different from what was being complained about. The prices have changed. The situation remains the same. How can we, in cycles of 4 years, not learn our lesson? Are we saying that we Nigerians are not worthy of running our government? That we cannot utilize the tools in our hands? That we cannot build a befitting nation for our children? I beg to differ. I differ because in your personal life there is excellence. In your aspiration there is excellence. And so in your political participation there ought to be excellence. And trust me, this excellence will carry you through into making a better decision. Thank you for listening. I am Chituga Chinda, and this is the Yellow Trumpet. Take care.